Hello and welcome to Fubar's 2xKO tier list for low elo and just learning the game. Now, different from other tier lists, we will not concentrate on who is strongest in the hands of an expert, but mostly on how strong is a character at the baseline of a skill and how good they are at making you learn the game. So it will be a little bit different from most tier list, I think. And let's start from Harry. Yeah, she was never really that good at lower elo and in the hands of someone who's just learning the game. So now that she got all of her tails broken, no. And she will continue to get nerfed because the community for some reason hates her. That I mean, yeah, she's annoying to play against, but she dies of two combos, so yeah, I cannot recommend her. She is as the kind of character that has an answer for everything, but she's not strong at most things. She has really good mobility and away game, but mm, yeah, that will not help you at lower elo. You are better off in the hands of another character, truth to be told. Akali, worse than Ari. She was just getting carried by Ari in higher elo. And in lower elo, no. These two completely dependent of who good you are at the defensive skills in the game, like parry and retreat guard and using your mobility to catch your opponent lacking or making them with movements. And yeah, you're going to catch yourself more often than not learning the characters instead of learning the game. So Ram, he's he's really strong at the base lane. Like, you just need to learn the simplest combo in order to disseminate someone's HP. His particular mechanic of unbreakable, super strong. At least I think it's strong all the way to master level when people start to parry really good. But outside of that, yeah, go ahead, pick him. The only problem is that you are learning Brown instead of learning the game. He skips a lot of things that you need to learn eventually. So you will be a brown character that can use a brown player that can use another character. But yeah, it's always good to keep him in your back pocket if you can afford to spend some like 5 minutes of lab or practice. Blitzcrank. No one will put Blitzcrank higher than Ari, but I do believe that he's a really good investment. He is always getting some sort of buff or quality of life change or things like that. And he's not that bad. He's bad in higher elo where people know how to parry your hits, but in lower elo and when you're learning the game, he's really strong. Also, you only need to learn like a couple of how to say a couple of combos and a couple of conversions to really mess up with people, and after that he has some of the strongest Oki, so you will learn how to do it. He struggles against a lot against sonars, but as the game progresses, I do believe that the sonars will pace out because this game has a lot of anti-sonar mechanics in it, and the movement is not that bad, so even Brown can jump fireballs quite easily. Yeah, so you will slowly get less sonars and you can abuse the other players. Talking about sonar hatred, I will put her in here. No, here. Yeah, she is the sonar. She completely depends on how good you are at predicting your opponent and shooting them on the face. The problem with her, and she has some really good normals. They are long, they are kind of fast, they has a very decent anti-aerial movement. And the problem with her is that, well, she can be really, really, really oppressive. As soon as you lose control of the match, you die, and you have no margin of error with her, and that can get really frustrating, especially when you're learning the game or you have been stuck in lower elo for quite a while. So yeah, you will proceed to just punish yourself, thinking, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. The truth to be told, she doesn't get any options to get the game back in her hands. So yeah, Darius, second S plus, and even better than Brown. Why? Truth to be told, Darius is weaker than Brown, especially on baseline. But the thing is that since he has a little bit of everything and he just pays it in the sense that he has not as good mobility as this thing, he gets to engage in the game in a very turtle-like way. So little by little you will learn the defensive mechanics of the game, and more importantly, since a lot of your movements are very are very variable, you will learn how to use mind games in order to bait parries and engage with the different mechanics of the game. Also, you have a lot of leeway in the way that your standing medium, it's really good at whiff punishing. So you will learn movement, backing away a little bit in order to whiff punish something, things like that. He's really good for a newbie. And if you just want to go to town and do what Darius does best, that is bully people. Darius is a bully. Yeah, he has his very own mechanic, but it does not warp the game. It's the bleed. And what it does is that it makes your chip damage stronger. That's it. So he's just going to continue pressuring you. He's not in reality is not a winning condition, so you will still need learn to how to open people during your sequences when you're pressuring them. I think that's a good thing, truth to be told. The thing that holds him back is that he is not really that good to transition into Halo. I will say that a lot of round Darius players get called back mostly by Darius because it's really easy to go against him once you know what you're doing. But we are talking in a bracket of Elo in which we do not know what we are doing, so he will be naturally very strong. Ekko. At baseline, he is strong, and more importantly, as you continue to learn the game, he will continue to be strong as you slowly and naturally learn his combos and his mix-ups and his mind games. I hate Ekko. I hate it with a passion. I hate that he has been one of the top tiers of the game in low and high elo since the game started, but I cannot stress more than if you pick up a character, it should be Ekko, because he is good, and you only need to learn a couple of basic combos. He has one of the best fireballs in the game. He has the best trap in the game. That is also one of the best fireballs in the game. He can throw that fireball when he's in the air in order to catch you, trying to anti-air him. He has air mobility. He has one of the best dashes and movement speeds of the game. He is a very, very privileged character, and you only pay with your S2. And what happens is that as you learn the game, the S2 is not good. You're just not good enough to use that utility super. But on the flip side, when you continue to get good, it will become one of the best supers in the game, kind of like a magic card. So yeah. Also, a piece of advice: don't get too hung up on his long combos. Learn a good combo that you don't drop, and once you learn that, he's a golden. He is golden. I hate this character. Oh, Ila, my baby. I love her. She will teach you. She will carry you in her big shoulders as you slowly learn the game. You only need to learn the most basic pulse combo in order to disseminate someone's life bar. And she commands a lot of space, and her movement is not as bad as some other characters. There's a lot of neat tricks you can learn with her tentacles. And once you learn the long combos, she's going to be really, really good. Problem: she will continue to get nerfed. Why? Because she's way too good in higher elo. Not as much as some another big body character that I will talk about after this. But yeah, and hopefully right now the other character gets the nerf hammer instead of her. But yeah, her weaknesses. Despite her specials commanding a lot of screen space and being relatively really fast, they hit in angles. What does this mean? If you don't pick the right special for the right moment, she will whiff. And whiffing is really bad with her because she is a big body, and her recovery is kinda low. Okay? It's not low enough to not get punished. So they will blow her up. Good thing she has relatively good health. So you get a couple of redos if your opponent doesn't have the 70% HP combos that are very normal in this game. But yeah, I cannot recommend her enough. I think everyone should play her more than these two because she does a better job at helping you learn the game, and she transitions better to higher elo as you get better with the game. Let's not talk about this. I do not like talking about this. Let's talk about Jinx. So, Jinx, she's my baby. I downloaded this game following Jinx. She is a really fun character to play, but I cannot really recommend her as much as these characters. Why is that? Well, she's a summoner in a game with a lot of anti-sunning stuff. So as such, she will feel weaker as you learn her. And her traps, that is her main, how to say it, her traps that are her main mechanic, is they take a lot of time to pull out. So that will make you learn to use your assist to save up plays, but at the same time you will need to use your assist for that, and that doesn't feel good. Yeah, she has Also, she has this. How do I call Sonner syndrome, in which if he's here, let's say this is Jinx, this way, and your opponent is like here, they are close enough to punish you if you use any of your summoning tools before you can pull them out, and you are far enough that you cannot use your normals before dashing a little. And that gives them the opportunity to punish you for dashing. And that can get really... That can, yeah, she has the same syndrome as Caitlyn, but not as bad as Caitlyn. Or maybe Teemo. But yeah. Teemo. Oh, we were talking about... I'm going to put him here. Maybe even here. Yeah. I don't like putting him besides Jinx, but not here. He has better traps than Jinx, and they get out faster. The thing is that you get really dependent on traps and summoning with him, and the chestnut and the mushrooms and the darts, they don't have enough damage to deal with a character, to be told. So you need to learn how to dash in and do things. The problem is that he has short legs, so he has very stubby normals, and approaching the fights will be a nightmare for him. When to get in and things like that, it will be a nightmare. But on the other side, also you need to learn the long combos. Just like with Jinx has some very simple to hit to button combos. And meanwhile, Teemo does not. I think the Teemo combos and even the simplest ones require some execution, so I cannot recommend him to learn the game. Even less than Blitzcrank, to be told. We were talking about the strongest... Yeah, this is the strongest character in the game. I'm not going to lie to you. He's strong. Problems with him. His combos are not really not intuitive. You need to search them for a guide and things like that. They are not that difficult, but they at least not the long ones. But you don't need to learn the long ones. In the case of Thresh, I do fervently believe that what you need to do with him is to learn one combo or a couple that you don't drop. As long as you don't drop that combo, you can play the away game. What do I mean by the away game? Well, you use his very long normals, and how fast he is. Relatively, he cannot really move, but he has a very good dash, teleport. So you just use his normals to catch them lacking, and then you do a short combo and just hit them hard. That way you will get them down to like what do you say, half HP in 2 interactions, and then you convert into your one combo, and you do. That is his winning. How do I call it? That is his winning condition in the way that is the easiest one. You can learn a lot of things from him to give him more depth, like the things with his ghost and the ghost Oki and stuff, and the lamp Oki and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you just need to put them in the corner, and when they are waking up, you get a little bit to the side, and you are in there, so you can hit them with your normals when they cannot use wake up attack or roll or do much of anything. So yeah, he's like really strong, really simple to use. He will get nerfed, hopefully, but I don't think that his particular set of skills, let's say, can be nerfed in the short term. So yeah, I think he's probably the best one to pick right now. Okay, bye. We were talking about simple strengths. Bai has one simple strength. She can throw rock faster than you and harder than you, and that's her strength. Not too long ago, she was nerfed, and now she's getting buff again because she's that kind of character. She's either really good or not that good. So what you need to do with her is right now is to learn. She helps you learn how to be aggressive, and that's good because in this game being good at offense is well, at least at the first part, is better than learning to do defense, and that can be a little bit of sometimes just learning to be when and how to be aggressive is really good. It can take you really far in this game. She needs a little bit of effort. Her electrics need to be loved. That's the truth. But I do believe that a person can do it like in 10 minutes for a week, every day, to get a couple, and that's it. You can just abuse the sonars and some of the slower champions. Now, I do believe that she alongside Ekko is right now the strongest fast character. So I cannot recommend her enough. Also, I hate her because I am a Sonar player and I play a big body slow character. So yeah, if I say she's good, it's not because she beats my ass. Well, but partially, but because she seems to be really good whenever I see her. Return to Monkey. No, he's here. Now, these are the monkey characters. You just bash things. Warwick is a little bit more nuanced than Bai in a different way that the combos. Well, the combos are not as intuitive, so you will need to find a guide and spend a couple of hours learning a couple of his combos. But the biggest thing is that his normals hate range. Not as much as Thresh. That thing is not normal, but he has good range in his normals, so that's somewhat fast, but not as fast as Vice on some of the other Russian characters. So you will need to learn how to space yourself out in order to hit them without them being able to hit you. And that's what makes him special. He's also very good at how to say control aggressiveness, where you start doing things that seem just to hit people, but in reality you're just making them programming it. Like, for example, if you do heavy swipe, and by swipe I mean the like I don't know the command, but you know, every Warwick player knows what I mean. If you do that swipe into any of the assist over and over, people will start trying to use very low, and guess what? You already have an overhead or a jump super for that, and you go to town. So yeah, he teaches you a little bit of mind games, to be aggressive, to have to be mindful of your zone. I hate him, and if you hate Sonars, pick him because he's probably the best character against Sonars. He can run through most of the projectiles of the game. I think that he might get caught in a trap. I'm not too sure. I don't play Caitlyn, but yeah. Also, his S1 super is probably one as soon as you if they halo HP, and as soon as you see them trying to use one of their fireballs, you just pick it up, use it, and yeah, you will disseminate the last bit of their HP bar. Yasuo, he's alright. He's stronger than Akali. I can say that. But the problem with him is that just like Ari, he and Ekko, but he's weaker than Ekko and more annoying to play than Ekko. Well, not more annoying, but takes more time to learn than Ekko. Let's say. The thing with Yasuo is that he has an answer for everything. He has an answer for every situation in the game. The problem is that he can give the wrong answer for every situation of the game. And you will often find yourself frustrated by picking the wrong answer. Now, he is strong and has one of the best anti-sonar tools in the game. I cannot stress that enough. But his stance it's difficult to learn, and you need to use it not only as a response but as a combo extender and your bread and butter and etc. And yeah, it's just I don't think he should be your first character. Maybe you can pick up Darius Bai or Teemo Brown, and then transition Brown into Yasuo once you already learned the game because you really like the character. But I'm sorry for every samurai fanboy with 3 katanas in the room. I just don't believe that Yasuo is a good pick as a startup. That's sorry. Yeah, no, she stays here. So, well, she just got buffed. The thing about Senna, just like Yasuo, she's a stance character, but Yasuo enters into her stance and has follow-ups. Senna, her stance, you transform. So that means that you get used to two different movesets in a single character. That does not count the third character that you're learning. Hopefully one of the simple ones. And second, you need to love that. You need to love learning the stance. Because different from, let's say, Unbreakable, which is just a power-up, the stance has different movesets that are not changes to her movesets. They are completely different. And also, it runs out. It's dependent of a resource that you gather by playing the let's say Vanilla Senna. Vanilla Senna is a sonar, and it's the slowest sonar in the game. So you can, despite having some really big normals, you can start to connect the dots on why I cannot recommend her. And I will say it, I've seen some Sennas be really good, but I just, and some hate beat me, but I cannot recommend playing again. I cannot recommend playing her. This is just way too much that you need to learn. Also, she's not as strong as a Sonar, and she's not as strong as a Rushdown, and her Rushdown is really, how to say it, very, very not intuitive as a character. So yeah, and one of your supers just changes your freaking stance. So you're of one leg. Imagine you're playing with, with 3 fingers less than your opponent. That's what you're doing to yourself with Senna. You will get frustrated, and I don't think you will enjoy that too much. So that's why I cannot recommend it. If you really, really, really want to play Senna, yeah, sure, go yourself. And there's some really cool stuff. Any I think you can change the stance during combos, and that can look really good. But I imagine you have a job, family, school, a cat that misses you. So I cannot recommend using that much time to play Senna with a worse Sonner than most Sonners and a worse rushdown than most rushdowns. So yeah. Uh, uh, anyway, this this is just a little bit of an exaggeration. Outside of Senna, most characters are more or less on the same power level. Meaning that I'm not rating of what you can do with of how much you can do with the character. I'm rating partial power and how they make you learn the game and how they are easy to pick up. So don't take this as gospel or anything. Sometimes a character can really click with you, and there are some people who will naturally pick up Ari. And but let's say that Ari just clicks with you. Okay, who do I pick with Ari? Maybe you're not clicking right with Akali. Maybe you pick one of those two. Well, when you get used to the game, and then you pick one of the best compliments for the character that really clicks up for you. Because at the end of the day, in low elo, there is this really thing that I don't want to say too much, but but synergy is not that important. I say it. Is people forget to use their assist. They forget almost no one uses their attack launcher, and the parry is a thing that's spoken of in Legends. So just pick 2 characters, one strong and easy to use, and the one you really want to use. That's it. I'm saying this not to discourage people or to make fun of them. I usually just make fun of myself, but I have enough material for that. But yeah, but no. What I want to say is that as players which are just improving and learning the game, I want you to have a good time, and with these guys will give you a good time while you learn the characters that you want to learn. That's it. I hope you have a great day, and let's that's pretty much it. If you think I'm wrong and then maybe this is a little bit too biased, please tell me. Tell me how I'm wrong. And if you really want to defend Senna, please say so. I would really like to hear the crazy ramblings of a mad person. But come on, you need to know. Come on. She's not that good right now, and I don't think she's worth the effort. But all right, bye bye.